Take a look at this Bitcoin price action today, ladies and gents. I just made a bullish video talking about how I'm loving this consolidation, but Bitcoin was like, nope, not today, bro. And we have fallen down to our $67,000 price of support, price area of support. Actually, we didn't quite get there. We went to 68K. This is the chart that I want to focus on. So we didn't actually get down to our zone of support yet. So we're going to be talking about that in this live stream. If we take a look at this on the hourly, Bitcoin was holding up really well, consolidating at its resistance zone, but we did get this spike up here when we actually pushed above the resistance zone, and that seemed to be the one thing that made the market very upset. Now, one of the reasons we know it made the market very upset is that Bitcoin's dominance shot up. Look at this here. Bitcoin's dominance was like, yep, we're going. We don't want to hold these alts right now. Look at Matic, for example, against the dollar here. Absolutely smashed, mate. I mean, just from this local, and that's a very, very local top, down to this low, that's a 13% drop. 13%, ladies and gents. Absolutely crazy. Solana, you know, from its comparative dump, also down by 9% here. Ethereum down by 5%. Ethereum against Bitcoin, again, we're measuring highs to lows, down by 2.7. And Bitcoin, from this drop here is a 2.7. From this drop here is a 4% drop. So we are seeing a decent pullback here. And the first thing that we have to do when we look at this kind of price action is acknowledge where our support levels are. You know, that's the most important first thing to be looking at, in my opinion, because your support levels will determine generally where the market will stop dumping. And the thing is Bitcoin doesn't have support over here. Now, we do have some local levels that you can make arguments for, like literally the price level we're at right now, bang on $69,000. In fact, I need to give this price level a little bit more credit because this was actually Bitcoin's previous all-time high from back in 2021. So obviously that's going to have some weight on the market. And I think that's why we're actually kind of here now. Because obviously, you know, if we really zoom in and take a look at this dump, a lot of this dump actually happened, you know, within just a few minutes, right? I mean, the dump action is very, very quick. So this is clearly some recovery. You know, we had a couple of questions in the live chat about, is this going to continue? Are we looking at, you know, this being the beginning of a bigger move, or are we done now? Is it pausing? We're going to talk about that. But, you know, just in short, based off what I'm seeing right now, this definitely has a lot of potential to continue for a couple different reasons. I think the first key reason is, I mean, just look at this price action on the screen. This is quite clear consolidation behavior, you know, where you drop down and then you kind of recover it up a little bit and then you drop down again, right? And you form that kind of staircase, in this case to hell, instead of staircase to heaven. Obviously, you can do it in the opposite direction where you trend up really nicely. You know, you pull off something a little bit like this and then you continue up, and this is your staircase to heaven. So, you know, we definitely form it in both directions. We've already done it. Immediately when Bitcoin dumped, we were live within 10 minutes. And what a shame it would be if you missed the next one just because you didn't click that juicy, what used to be red. Wait, if you didn't click that juicy red button, that subscribe button, and check that bell icon to make sure that you don't miss out on any notifications of these uploads and live streams. All right, you tuned into this one, you will not tune into the next one. If you don't tell YouTube that you like this content. I do want to highlight to you guys that I am running a very, very cool campaign with Blowfin with you guys. This is a completely no KYC exchange. There's not very many that exist these days. The ones that do are typically not exchanges you would want to put your money on. But Blowfin is super, super cool by the looks of it. And well worth taking a look at. And when you do start trading using this link, you're going to get up to 3.5K in bonuses. So that is super, super cool. Those of you that have signed up to Bybit using my link, if you haven't received a bonus yet, it's because you haven't started trading. So just while we're live, you can open a new tab, make any deposit you like. The bigger the better, obviously, you'll get bigger bonuses, and start trading, and you will get your bonuses credited into your account. So if you're signed up to Bybit with me and you're wondering why you don't have your bonus, then that's why. Bybit card available to those of you in Europe. Super, super cool. We'll come back to those in a bit, but super, super cool offers. Well worth doing that in the background. It'll only take you a couple of minutes. What I did want to show you guys is, yeah, if we zoom out and let's say actually we just look at this on the 3-day, for example, you know, one thing that's very clear, and I might actually even need a new Bitcoin chart to prove this to you guys, because we got a lot of drawings now, but one thing that's very clear, I mean, look at this, guys. It's so damn clear, is that in this particular price range here, in this box, we had a lot of price action, and we can just stretch it out, and we're still in the same box now. So, you know, we're in a pretty good place as far as I'm concerned. You know, our main range basically spans this, you know, basically 60, 61K up to about 71. But this is where it looks like most of that price action has actually taken place. You know, and this is just consolidation at an all-time high. You know, what I was talking to you guys about in the previous video is that we've never traded for this long up in these kind of price ranges. I mean, you know, this is kind of the floor that we've been holding for quite some time. And that's like, you know, Bitcoin didn't even get here in the first half of 21. And in the second half of 21, Bitcoin was only here for a matter of a few days. I mean, you know, really not that long. You know, so I think Bitcoin is doing incredibly well now, actually holding up this high. And, you know, any small drop we can get here just can't shake me. You know, I said it quite loud and proud in my previous video. You know, we can fall out as low as 30K, and I can't stop being bullish. So I'm hearing some, like, bearish biases coming out of the woodworks now, but I really don't think now's the time. I mean, S&P 500's at an all-time high. Yes, it's seen a fucking small pullback, but, like, shit, are you really gonna fade this chart, bro? Like, I mean, look at this chart. We're at an all-time high, for fuck's sakes. It's just not something that I can be worried about myself. You know, and because of that, you know, I think Bitcoin is still probably going to be in quite a strong position until this changes, if it changes. Gold is seriously down since the last few hours. What is going on? Let's take a look at gold. Gold's down by 3%. That is huge. From this high down to this low in a couple of days, it is down by 3%. That's a couple of hours, I'm sorry. Did I say? Well, no, that is a couple of days, is it? I can't tell. Hang on. Yeah, that's a couple of hours, my bad. Yeah, a couple of hours. And since the 20th of May, in about, 2.5 weeks, gold has dropped by 6%. It's dropped by $150. So gold is dropping, the S&P 500 is dropping, speculative assets are dropping. Well, what's happening with the dollar? Not much. The dollar is up, but it's not crazy. It's not up like crazy. A lot of blood across the altcoin market. Look at this on Phantom. Wow. Look at that. Phantom is also available on Blowfin, linked in the description below, for you to trade and check out. You can trade it on Leverage as well. Super, super cool. On Bybit, linked at the very, very top, you can actually trade it for free. 0% spot trading fees if you just want to buy and sell altcoins, which is super cool. And you can actually hold anything you like and trade on Leverage with Bybit with the UTA, Unified Trading Accounts, which is super, super cool. You know, typically you only need to, you can only hold USDT and trade, but on Bybit you can hold anything you like if you have a unified account, so that's super cool. But yeah, this big drop is putting Phantom basically back in this range here in the 70-cent area. If we zoom out, it's kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's only important based on recent price action from this year. Otherwise, you know, it's probably down to about the 56 cent area, and I think that's actually much more realistic. I think that, yeah, I mean, look, you've got this local zone right here on Phantom at about 63 cents, but if you're not and this would be Bitcoin's 67K level, but if this does end up losing, then that would probably be you know, 56 incoming after that. So I think that's worth looking at. I'm actually curious what the other biggest winners and losers are of today here. I think that's always something interesting because it's actually something that I like to do on days like this, is I want to see what the biggest losers are, because that will actually influence what I might want to trade next. You know, if there's a particular coin that's really getting decimated, then that's going to be something which actually gets my attention. And it's something that I would be interested in trading. So we've got Blowfin up here, by the way. When you follow my link, it's going to take you to a page that looks a little bit different. You're going to be on this page here. You can see some of the bonuses that you get on this exchange here. They're relatively new. They're not white labeled, which is important. A lot of the exchanges that you see are actually white labeled from others. These guys built their own stuff, which is cool. It also makes them a hell of a lot more independent and safe from you know, vulnerabilities and stuff. Are we slightly worried? Hell no. Hell no. There is not a millimeter of worry here on this side of things. But if we do take a look at Blowfin here, here's the home page. And I just want to take a look at the markets up top over here. We're on the futures side here and just sort it by percent change. We've obviously got some gainers here today. They're very big on meme coins, by the way. Blowfin, huge support for meme coins here. They're listing coins quite aggressively. But I just want to look at some of these biggest losers of today, and specifically the ones with the big volume, because, you know, just $2 million in volume is nothing. You can't do anything with that. But some of the bigger volume pairs, we got 262 volume here for Bohm. This could be interesting. It's down by 17% today. I'm just curious what that actually looks like here on this chart. So let's go ahead and take a look at Bohm. Don't know what Bohm is. Can't help you there, mate. But let's just see if I can find a better chart. Something which has some more price history. Is Book of Meme. Basically a meta meme. The meme of memes. And what do we have here? If we zoom in onto the 4 hour, and the reason I'm looking at this is like, I don't give a shit about any of these coins. I really don't care. But if these coins have dropped really hard, you do potentially open yourself up to some really nice trading opportunities. And that, to me, is what's way more interesting than anything else. And especially, you know, with free money that you could trade this stuff with, it's just, you know, it's very cool to be able to identify these. Book of Meme, very clearly down to a very good area of support right now. See, that's what I'm talking about, right? When you start paying attention on days like this, you'll start spotting things that are actually quite useful. I'm not even going to do this. I'm going to use the fixed range volume profile instead. I should be using the VPVR, but this is a little bit faster because of my presets. And there's a big spike here. The spike ends over here. So what I'm going to do is draw a box from that big spike to where the spike ends. And that, to me, is going to be the most critical zone of support on this chart. And we are in it right now. So I think if Book of Meme slips anywhere below 1 cent, 107, if it drops below 107, then it's kind of screwed up this opportunity. But anything above 107, and I think it's actually still looking really good. And I'm personally thinking that, yeah, this is a pretty decent buy zone. Failing that, yeah, you've got some more support, you know, that you could probably argue is like down here, right? So this starts at about 0087 down to about 0077. So that would be interesting. So yeah, definitely some potential longs here from that perspective. Let's see if the fib says anything about that. I'm just going to do a fib from this low up to the high that it set. Actually, I don't really trust that high. We'll do it up to that high. We'll do it up to this high over here. And we have actually lost the 6-minute fib level. I don't know how liquid this chart is. That's why I'm not really trusting the fibs here, actually. We got a lot of questions for Pepe. Pepe is also down by a lot. It's down by 11%. Obviously, this stuff can't take you by surprise, right? I mean, the first coins that are going to get dumped are the stupid ones because, you know, when things get a little bit scary, people don't want to take excess risk. People don't want to be holding risk. I think that's a really big deal that I think a lot of people just literally don't even think about, which is silly, but, you know, once you hear it, it's actually very obvious. You know, and because of that, I think that's why we're starting to see these coins get dropped really hard, right? I mean, they're, you know, Pepe is down by, you know, from its high over here, which by the way was only like a week or so ago, a little bit more than a week ago, it's down by 35%. Like that's insanely big. You know, just since yesterday, it's down by 25%. Ethereum's down by like 5%, you know, by comparison, right? So maybe more since yesterday, but I mean, you know, it's very clear that these coins are getting dropped much faster. It's because they're meme coins, right? So you just got to keep that in mind. But Pepe did stop dropping at this previous resistance zone at 113,000. Am I reading that right? 1.1 million? I don't know. It's a weird number, but I'm not even going to read the numbers on this chart. You're just going to have to do this yourself. But yeah, we do have some support down here, which Pepe bounced off of. I think the best support Pepe has is still going to be down here. This was a very important top for Pepe throughout this year. So I would definitely be paying attention to that over here for our, you know, one of our leaders of the meme coin saga. Canada got a rate cut. Europe got a rate cut as well. So it looks like it might be starting of 0.25. Yeah, so I think it's just kind of eyes on the US right now to see when their rate cut will come. if it will come, because nothing's guaranteed, but of course it probably will come. Every other country is cutting rates at the moment. Fed's going to be right behind. Yeah, I think that's definitely reasonable. And that's the thing, is when you're in those transitionary periods, there is some evidence to suggest that markets get a little bit turbulent. I didn't even see this until a friend pointed it out to me, but it's actually bang on correct. Typically, transitionary periods for these rates are turbulent for the markets, even when they go down. We got our request for Cardano. Let's take a look at Cardano here. Just collapsed below this diagonal trend line. I don't really care about it too much. Fell down to 42 cents and now trading sideways. I mean, it's still at such an abysmally low level, isn't it? Let's look at this on the logarithmic so we can make more sense of this chart. I mean, this is a very good zone of support, and we just bounced off the very top of it. So, you know, that's okay. It can still drop quite a bit, and it's still going to have the support. So I think that's also great. Election year, it will come. Yeah, I agree, actually. I agree. In fact, I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet. But, yeah, that's where we're at. But, yeah, we've got Cardano here just kind of holding sideways. I think a lot of these coins are just kind of waiting to see what the bigger markets do. And I think that's kind of an important thing, right? I mean, the S&P 500 saw a very small pullback as well, roughly around the same time that Bitcoin did. So, you know, I mean, it's not really even a Bitcoin thing as far as I'm concerned. And that makes this a whole lot better, because at least for us, for our selfish, you know, aims for now, if Bitcoin is tied in with the S&P 500, and if Bitcoin is strong when the S&P 500 is, then that's good news, because the S&P 500 is generally very strong right now. You know, if we look at it on the weekly, right here, I mean, this is a brand new all-time high that we're at today, you know? So I think, you know, this is definitely a pretty good setup overall for crypto, even though there's been a small pullback here. Yeah, we don't want to see spam in the live chat. You're going in the naughty corner. Anyone that's spamming, I'm gonna start enforcing the naughty corner on people. There we go. I'm also gonna ignore your comment, because it's not fair on the people who are nice, and that's horrible. I hate that, actually, because I'm a nice guy, and when people ruin stuff for me because other people are behaving badly, I don't like it either. So we're not gonna do that today. We'll just put you in the naughty corner and ignore you instead. But it's okay. You're not getting blocked. You can come back and then just not spam again. I don't mind if you repeat your question. Just don't spam it. It's just not nice. Let's see what else we've got here in the live chat. I almost got liquidated on Cardano. Damn, sorry about that, dude. Don't get liquidated though. Keep your stop losses. You don't need to get liquidated. You don't need to get liquidated, ladies and gents. Let's see what else we've got here across the altcoins. If you are enjoying the stream so far, ladies and gents, do me a favor and smash up those likes as well. We've got a request for Foxy. I also saw that as one of the biggest losers today. So let's look at that on which exchange will have the most price history. Maybe Mexi. Mexi right here. Foxy chart. You know, it's got support down here at 2.1 cents. 2.2 cents. We're still above it, so, you know, it's still kind of holding this sideways range that stretches a little bit like this. I think as long as it holds 2.2, it's good. If it doesn't, then, yeah, it might be in a bit of trouble. Take a quick look at Solana. Solana lost this particular price zone, but it does have pretty good support anyway. A little bit lower. It's got support down here at about 155. It's not the best support. I'm actually going to remove it though. And we've got some pretty decent support here at about 140 as well. So yeah, I mean, there's just support for Solana all the way, to be honest. Take a quick look at render. And if we got more like macro questions or Bitcoin and stuff like that, let me know. I'm not just going to make this a live stream where I go through everyone's altcoin suggestions, because they're largely the same. Render is definitely not the same though. So there was this big sideways trading range here, and we've ended up falling below it. So now you got a really, really ugly zone of resistance up ahead. at this $10 price range. So if it does manage to get back up, maybe expect a bit of resistance there. I mean, could this be a fake out and you just get back above? Yes, but I wouldn't put my hopes in that direction, because guess why? Can we say it in the live chat, ladies and gents? Why would I not expect it? What is one of the most common catchphrases on this YouTube channel? Can we say it in the live chat, ladies and gents? I just want to understand how predictable this has gotten. For those of you that are paying attention on these live streams, shout out to those of you that are. It is because this is a zone of resistance, and resistance is resistance. Okay, and so resistance is where you expect to find resistance, and that's why I think that this could be a problem. Yeah, we've got Erectus saying it is a zone of resistance. There we go. So quite simple, quite straightforward. It was serving as support, so naturally I would have to expect that it serves as resistance now. Resistance equals resistance. There we go. From those of you in the live chat pointing that out, shout out to you guys. There isn't much support below either. Yeah, I guess that's also a bit of a problem. It's got a messy chart. It's hard to say. I guess I like this $8.20 zone as potential support for render. I think more than that, I like this $7 area, actually. I like the $7 area a hell of a lot more. So this would be that next zone of support that I see. This is like Bitcoin 60K level. Like it's the equivalent on this render chart. Definitely a bear trap from 𝐁𝐥𝐽 Reviews in the live chat, saying that this is a bear trap, which means that this person thinks that this is actually going to be potentially a pretty quick but definitely a strong recovery up. And anybody getting bearish right now is going to be in a very uncomfortable position. That's according to 𝐁𝐿. I think it's possible, but I don't think it's super likely. I don't want to scream bear trap right now. On Blowfin, once you sign up using this link below, if you just look at the markets tab up top here, I don't know if you can even see it, but you should be able to see it, and then you sort by change, you'll actually just easily spot opportunities. I mean, collectively, I spent like a minute on this website, and I've already seen some pretty cool charts. This res chart right here, fell down to a critical zone of support. I mean, an easy long, I mean, it's quite easy to justify trading this. I mean, risk tolerance and so on is going to be very important, but if it meets your risk tolerance, it's a pretty reasonable one to stomach to go long off this level, and immediately off this level, that's a 5% profit, but that's before leverage, right? So with leverage, it could be even better. Would it be short-lived? I don't know. If you lose this zone, then you're probably actually going to have to expect resistance down here, and for the market to drop much lower, right? And that would probably mean Bitcoin dropping below 60K. I'm down towards 60K. It would mean Bitcoin losing 67 if we drop below this and got a bearish backtest. That's probably what I would expect. So there's a lot of money there as well, which is super, super cool. Again, you can access all of that with the links below, but I can't stress this enough, whether it's Bybit, Blowfin, whatever, you will only get your exchange bonuses after you start trading. So you have to start trading first, and then they will give you the free money. They're not just going to give it to you if you don't put any effort in, but it's a very low amount of effort and you get paid quite well. So definitely worth it.